Good morning, everybody. Very exciting day today at the office. I just received my author copies of my newest novel, Thundering Hooves, Spirit of the West. And we're going to open it up and have a look at what's inside. Okay. So this is my newest novel, Thundering Hooves. And it is a book about the most famous stallion in the Sandwash Basin out in western Colorado. He was a wild horse that ruled over the basin for a couple of decades. And anyway, this is a fictionalized story of his life and also of my two main characters, which I introduced in the prequel, Spirit of the Wolf. And as you can see, this book has some black and white images inside. An introduction here tells the story of wild horses in North America. And throughout the book you'll find pictures of actual wild horses from the basin. Here we have a little bit about the cover, how I went out to the Sandwash and photograph the horses in search of a cover for the book. And then in the first chapter the book introduces the famous horse Picasso, with a fictionalized name for this particular story. And then later in the book my characters will be introduced, and the book will track their lives as they try to save the wild horses from destruction by the BLM, who occasionally goes out and rounds a bunch of them up and auctions them off to the highest bidder. Well, in this particular story there was an actual roundup that the governor of Colorado intervened in and tried to stop, and this book is the lead up to that story, and also the very exciting story of my main characters, who are involved in many adventures and mishaps, triumph and tragedy throughout the story. It's 14 chapters, about 220 pages, so that will keep you busy reading for a while. And I'm sure that each one of you who buys this book will thoroughly enjoy this story. And also don't forget the prequel to the book, where my characters are actually introduced, as my main character tries to save the most famous wolf of all time in Yellowstone National Park. So if you read both books, you'll get the full story, learn some things about our nation's wildlife, and how people are working to try to preserve those animals. And if you find those books aren't enough to keep you busy, I have several more available for you to read, including 3 photography books. This one here is called 2 Decades of Digital Photography, and it is filled with a whole bunch of my favorite images from all time. There's mountain climbing, there's wildlife, winter scenes, summer scenes, and this book tracks my progress from the very beginning of digital photography back 20 years ago until the present time. And it describes the changes in the cameras, the techniques I've learned, places I've lived, eagles, birds, bears, sheep on top of Colorado's highest peaks, mountain goats, all kinds of cool scenes. This book is very entertaining, not too technical for those of you who aren't actual photographers. And then for the more advanced photographers, I have this book called Wildlife Photography in the Colorado Rockies, and it has pictures of all kinds of wildlife, section for birds, large animals, winter, summer, in the mountains, in the lakes, and all of the many of Colorado's best wildlife photography locations are described in here, and I'm sure that you will find this book handy. It has in it settings I use to get the pictures, and I think from amateur to advanced photographers, this book would be very valuable. Also for photographers, I have this book called Storm Warning, and this book describes how to get the best pictures in the mountains in the winter time, and it describes where to go to find winter wildlife, bald eagles, elk, deer, the best landscape locations, how to get into the back country in bad weather, how to manage survival in the snow, and I think you'll find this book very enjoyable. Anyway, I hope that you found this video entertaining, and I hope you'll go out to www.swcrawlimaging and click on the book section and consider making a purchase. In the meantime, have a great day, and we'll get to you later.